pays for this northward and southward extension of exploration and gave some backing to the colonization of Panama. All right, then 10 years later or so, you got the conquest of Peru. And then it says, thus one after another, Caribbean and American locales were raided. Caribbean and American homes, Caribbean and American Nagas. What picture do you see, Malanga? What picture do you see coming? And then it says, thus one after another, Caribbean and American locales were raided. Caribbean and American Nagas. Then 10 years later or so, you got the conquest of Peru. And then it says, thus one after another, Caribbean and American locales were raided. Caribbean and American homes, Caribbean and American Nagas. What picture do you see, Malanga? What picture do you see coming clear as we, get our sight back? Because they did a whole lot of jam up Jones and while we were asleep. Now you see real ones popping off all over the place, man. Kwame Brown's over there. He got his Puldra Khan Phineas on their head bowl, man. Goodness gracious. Everybody being lit up, man, by this Drakan fire so we can see clearly. Hey, man, I'm riding that wave, man. And we searching that wave and the wave of reality over here. Like, what? So we got 15, 16 Cuban resources, the wealth of Mexico, that pays for this northward and southward extension of exploration and gave some backing to the colonization of Panama, the placement. Kwame Brown's over there. He got his Puldra Khan Phineas on their head bowl, man. Goodness gracious. Everybody being lit up, man, by this Drakan fire so we can see clearly. Hey, man, I'm riding that wave, man. And we're searching that wave and the wave of reality over here. Like, what? So we got 15, 16 Cuban resources, the wealth of Mexico, that pays for the northern extension of exploration, the colonization of Panama, and the conquest of Peru. And then it says, thus one, Caribbean and American locale, Caribbean and American Nagas. Kwame Brown's over there. He got his Puldra Khan Phineas on their head bowl, man. Goodness gracious. Everybody being lit up, man, by this Drakan fire so we can see clearly. Hey, man, I'm riding that wave, man. And we're searching that wave and the wave of reality over here. Like, what? So we got 15, 16 Cuban resources, the wealth of Mexico, that pays for this northward and southward extension of exploration and gave some backing to the colonization of Panama. All right, then 10 years later or so, you got the conquest of Peru. And then it says, thus one after another, Caribbean and American locales were raided. Caribbean and American homes, Caribbean and American Nagas. American Nagas were invaded, raided, and drained of their wealth. Now we in the hoods and the ghettos, acting like, we get money, we act like it's new to us, when it's never been new. They drained the Naga of the Naga's wealth, man. You know what it's like to wake up wealthy? Not rich, wealthy. You know what it's like to wake up with so much that you just can't get rid of it? And the Naga's mind, we just said, man, we got so much land and gold. You see how they're pulling out 6 tons of gold per year? The that shit's out of in Haiti. I mean, just imagine everywhere, man. Come on, man. I mean, when you got it all, when you got generational wealth, you feel like nothing can take it away. And Hawa says, man, I'm gonna make you say one day that, yeah, I am the Lord. Hawa is Hawa. I am that I am, because we never thought all this could be taken away from us. Hawa had to humble us and would say, yeah, you are Hawa. Allow Hawa, because we just got a real wakey wakey. You know what I'm saying? We never thought it could be taken away. We never thought our titles could be taken away. We never thought anybody could fade us. We never thought, you know what I mean? But Psalms 83, Confederacy, so that the name of Israel is remembered no more. Drained of their wealth, a portion which was divided among the crown, the conquistadors, and those who provided the conquistadors financial support, while the rest was used to mount further depredations. By and large, the Spanish were uninterested in building new world colonial societies, but rather in draining the new world of its wealth. Really?
We've secured the bomb. We're planting our...
What do you think the colonial societies will be doing? Either way, they're going to be leeching on the nugget. Either way, they're going to be vanquishing and stealing all the Naga's movable and immovable goods. Papal Bull, Deuteronomy verses 1452. They took your movable and immovable goods. That includes your clothes, includes your thing, includes your stuff, man. We get our stuff back. Where's my staff, man? And let's go. Indeed, the United States is by the 1570s. The investment movement had been reversed, and returning colonists were investing capital accumulated in America entirely Spanish financial and industrial enterprises. So now they bought. Now they got an enterprise. Now Spain has an enterprise that's built on the gold of Cuba, that's built on the gold of Mexico, that's built on the gold of IED, and all throughout the Caribbean, all the family. The first waves of Spanish violence denuded the Caribbean of its wealth in gold, and as we saw earlier, of its wealth in people as well. Once the islands were thus made barren, the Spanish found goals to pursue elsewhere and moved on. Like conquering the promised land. There were about 8,000 Spaniards living on Hispaniola in 1509, for instance, forcing the few surviving Indians to produce the remaining dregs of gold that the white man hungered for. But within a decade, only a few hundred Spaniards remained to begin slowly building sugar plantations on the backs of growing numbers of imported African slaves. Stop. So these same Spaniards are taking all the gold, they say. Now they got a little bit left. They got the Nagas mining that for these whites now, right? But within a few decades, only a few hundred Spaniards remained to begin slowly building sugar plantations. Beginning to begin building sugar plantations. I just want to think about that, because from my recollection, last time that I checked, these hijacks coming off the boat. According to the story, they couldn't farm. They didn't be taught how to farm, right? So any type of sugar plantation, so-called, that you find in any type of crops you find it, must have already been here. Must have already been here. Or, you know what I'm saying, you do know how to cultivate something, you know, brothers that look like us, that aren't us, but they back up. Maybe they do. And they just, started commandeering all these Nagas' homes and turning them into plantations. Or they found you and just turned you into a slave on your own land and made you pick the cotton and the sugar and everything else that you was already cultivating. Which one do y'all think, jives with the story, the real story? But we know it's not on the backs of the imported African slaves when it was on the backs of the Nagas already here. Not only had the island's gold supply been depleted and its millions of native people effectively exterminated by then, but most of those who had done the exterminating had left for richer fields of exploitation. Davis describes well the pattern that was repeated for decades still to come for the dismantle. Many of the early conquistadors shared in the gold finds, from the small ones in the islands to the hoard in the treasure house in Atapuerca. The astounded Pizarro's followers in 1533. So they found a bunch of gold in 1533 that astounded them. Yet these hoards were quickly distributed, and when the king's share and the leaders' big portions have been taken out, few rank-and-file soldiers secured enough to take home to the longed-for life of luxurious idleness in Castile. The followers and hangers-on of the conquistadors, restless and unreliable material for permanent colonial settlements, were therefore constantly on the move to seek fresh opportunities of fortune. The opening of Cuba rapidly drained Hispaniola. Only a few hundred Spaniards remained to begin slowly building sugar plantations on the backs of growing numbers of imported African slaves. So these same Spaniards are taking all the gold, they say. Now they got a little bit left. They got the Nagas mining that for these whites now, right? But within a decade, only a few hundred Spaniards remained to begin slowly building sugar plantations. Okay. Yeah, all the family within a decade. They're taking all the gold, they say. Now they got a little bit left. They got the Nagas mining that for these whites now, right? But within a decade, only a few hundred Spaniards remained to begin slowly building sugar plantations.